All right, grade 12s, we're on our third day of solving polynomial equations, and these ones are kind of sweet. We're looking at polynomial equations where we have a power equals a number. So something like x squared equals 9, and I don't mean to insult your intelligence. You know that the answer is 3 or negative 3, but this is where it would come from. X squared subtracting 9 from both sides. I have this problem to solve. And if I were to factor that, it would be x plus 3, x minus 3 equals 0, where I have two answers of minus 3 or x equals 3. You also know that you could have solved that by taking the square root of both sides. So x equals, but don't forget, when you impose a square root, you need to think of the positive or the negative answer for that. What we're asking you is, when is the parabola x squared equal to the value of 9? You know that for your basic parabola, the y has a value of 9 when x is 3 or when x is negative 3. That is basically what the question is asking you. For the second one, I'm asking you, when is the cubic function x cubed equal to 27? So I have the function, an x cubed. I'm going to draw it the best that I can. When is that equal to 27? Notice that there's only going to be one answer for that problem. We are going to take the cube root. So we are undoing a cube by cube rooting 27. Our calculators don't often have cube roots. So this is where your understanding of roots from last year would come in. If you have a root, we can write that as a power, as a fraction. So 27 to the 1/3 is the same as the cube root of 27, which undoes a cubic. And if you type that into your calculator, you will get the answer 3. There is only one answer to this problem, and you can see from the graph why. X to the 4th equals 81. We can impose a 4th root if we like. This is one way of solving this problem. But remember, we're imposing a root knowing that it is an even root, so there might be a positive answer or a negative answer. Positive or negative 81 to the 1/4. If you were to type that into your calculator, would be 3. But negative 3 is also an answer, and this is why. For that x to the 4th graph, y equals x to the 4th, we have something that looks very much like a parabola. It's just a little deeper, I suppose. I don't know what to call that. And it will hit the value 81 in two different places, to the left and to the right. When x is equal to 3, you can see my proportions off just a tad, or negative 3. Two solutions to that problem. The other way to look at it is to factor it. X to the 4th equals 81. I'm going to subtract 81 from both sides. I'm going to factor this as a difference of squares. X squared minus 9, x squared plus 9 equals 0. I can further factor x squared minus 9 because it's also a difference of squares. I have x plus 3, x minus 3, and x squared plus 9 isn't a difference of squares. It doesn't have a greatest common factor and so on. It is what it is. I have three things being multiplied together that gives me 0. That means x plus 3 equals 0, or x minus 3 equals 0, or x squared plus 9 equals 0. For the first one, x equals minus 3, we knew that was one of our solutions already. It's one of the x values, or x is 3. But x squared plus 9 equals 0 is saying, when is x squared equal to negative 9 if you were to subtract 9 from both sides? That doesn't ever happen. X squared can't be a negative number. So that doesn't give us any solutions to the problem. The two solutions to the problem are here and here. But a graph can be very helpful in explaining why there are two possible solutions to that problem. Just to quickly go over a few rational exponents rules from your memory banks. 8 to the 1/3, which could be written as the cube root of 8 is 2, because 2 cubed is 8. So it's going the other direction. 16 to the 1/4, which could be written as the 4th root of 16, because is 2, sorry, because 2 to the 4th is 16. So we're going in the opposite direction, if that will help you keep some of these straight. Minus 27 to the 1/3, which is the cube root of 27, is equal to negative 3, because negative 3 cubed is minus 27. Minus 25 to the 1/2 has no solution. Because there is nothing squared that would give me negative 25. And a few in the form that I like a little better. Square root of 64 is 8. Cubed root of 125, you are looking for 3 identical factors, which would be 5 times 5 times 5. I lost my train of thought. So 3 identical factors. So the cubed root of 125 is 5. We could write it as 125 to the 1/3, which is the easier way to put it in your calculator, is that because 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. 2 more. Let's do 5th root of minus 32. Is the same thing as minus 32 to the 1/5, but I like to write it so that I can see 5 identical factors. You would have to have a negative. One, two, three, four, five. So the 5th root of negative 32 is negative 2. And the cubed root, let's do this one. 27 to the 2/3 equals the cubed root of 27, which is what the 1/3 does, and then square that number. So I have chosen to do this guy first and do the square second. Order doesn't matter. Cube root of 27 is 3, and 3 squared is 9. So homework just slid by on us, page 118 to 119, number 1 to 10, solving with radicals.